Today's sports coverage of the NFL brings us to the Sunshine State and TIAA Bank Field here in Jacksonville. Tonight we've got a great Sunday night matchup between the Green Bay Packers and the Jacksonville Jaguars. Two teams here fresh off Week 1 victories who can keep it going as we're underway on EA Sports. And a fair catch signaled for and taken successfully.
Call it a 1-yard gain up to the 26.
Well, this defense for the Jaguars, terrific last week in the season-opening victory.
No matter what coverage was called, they were right in the hip pockets of the receivers all game long, step for step, running their routes with them. Turned out they were right there every time the ball was in the air, and they came away with 5 interceptions in that one.
The last play got just a yard. Here's 2nd and 9 from the 26. Play action. Now Wilson. Blitz coming, and down he goes. Well, the windup losing a full 9 yards here on the sack. Now it's 3rd down. Throwing is Wilson. Under pressure, and they got to him again. Josh Allen providing a little deja vu. Back-to-back sacks, and now they're staring at a 4th and long. On now is the Packers punter, as his first punt will come from inside his own end zone. James now to return. Call that one an even 60 yards, 6-0. And the Jaguars go on offense, 1st down and 10. Lawrence bringing the Jaguars up, 1st and 10 at the 41-yard line. They start on the ground with Nick Chubb to the 43, 2nd down.
Well, any lane that might have been open there was closed pretty quickly, and that was because the defensive front, they won that battle at the point of attack at the line of scrimmage. They used great leverage, held their spot, and stacked him up.
They'll bring the tight end in motion right here. And they'll bring the big tight end across the formation left. Throwing on 2nd and 8. Lawrence. Oh, he tries to force it in, and it's intercepted. Picked up by Caleb Farley. And the Packers are going to take possession of the football. If you combine last week and this week, he's got a hat trick going because he had 2 interceptions a week ago.
He's seeing the ball so well and understanding what receivers are and positioning. I mean, just watching him work with such great technique and paying it off by actually catching it.
Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. Brought to the ground by the linebacker, Foye Oluokun. And before this 2nd down play, we'll get a whistle, a signal, and a timeout. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this 1st quarter. Don't need it all back at once, but you figure they're going to need something here. 17 yards to go on 2nd down. And pressure coming, and they got him once again. Josh Allen able to drop him that time for his 2nd sack of the evening.
So when you have good field position to start a drive and you give up back-to-back sacks, that can be demoralizing for a team.
Back-to-back sacks have this place in a frenzy as they line up again, 3rd and long now. Wilson. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete.
That's going to hold the bill because they needed to come through with a completion there. Now a drive that started with great field position is facing 4th down.
So they're forced to punt on 4th as this one's away. On the return, it's James. And he's free going down the left side. It's a foot race. Touchdown, Jaguars. Officially 91 yards on the punt return. And the Jaguars will claim the early lead as they're on the board first here tonight. Koo able to connect on the extra point. And that makes the score 7-0. So for the punt return touchdown, let's see what their opponents can do with this kickoff. And no return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken. The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. They've shown precious little here offensively thus far as they try again with a first down now. And not much to speak of. Call it a 1-yard gain up to the 26.
Nice run defense presented there, and what I mean by that is discipline. Guys filling the right gaps in the right holes, no one over pursuing, and making a very nice play.
The last play got just a yard. Here's 2nd and 9 from the 26. Wilson. Open man is Higgins. That's good. The completion there for 7 yards. And that'll leave him with a 3rd and 2. Now it's Wilson. And he'll dump this off to his running back, McCaffrey. And they needed 2. They could only get 1. 4th down. They'll try and throw for it with Wilson. Open man, it's complete to Higgins. And he is going to have a Packers first down as they manage to convert. And that'll keep the drive alive. A big roll of the dice on 4th and 1, but it pays off. They convert. So in Jacksonville territory now. Here's a 1st and 10 at the 48-yard line. Here's Wilson. And the screen unsuccessfully dropped it.
So many components go into a well-executed screen pass. You've got to sell. Offensive line's got to sell like they've missed blocks, and then they move out, and they're out in front of the running back. He's got to sell that he's trying to block, and then he slips out into the route. The quarterback has to sell that maybe he's trying to throw it downfield. Instead, he slips it off to the running back. And
into a sea of defenders and intercepted. And the Jags are going to get the football here at their own 40-yard line. Before we came up to the booth, the last thing he said as we were walking off the field, want to play mistake-free football. Well, that just went out the window there with a pick.
And do you remember what you said to me when we were walking up to the booth after he said that? You're like, oh, fatal last words. Every time we hear that, things tend to fall apart a little bit, and that's what we saw there. Didn't get enough on that throw, and it turned into an interception.
A well-executed 22-yard gain. And trouble trying the middle here. And the result here, a pickup of 8. Leaves them with 2 to go on 2nd down. The Jaguars at 1-0 on the year following the win in Week 1. And they were able to get that road victory in the opener. Now they look to get to 2-0 in front of the home crowd.
And look, any road win in the NFL, that's huge. But when you do it Week 1, that gets you pointed in the right direction and sends notice to the rest of the league that you mean business.
So they just need 1 yard here to pick up the first down. On 3rd and 1, it's Lawrence. Dancing to his left. James has got it, complete. And he'll go out of bounds inside the 15-yard line. His first catch, good for 16 and a first. Final 30 seconds of this first quarter, and it's been a quarter dominated by the guys with the football. On first down, they'll run with Chubb, and he's going to get about 4 down inside the 10 to the 9.
Not a run that you're going to write home about, but still a good first down run. That's what an offense calls staying on schedule. 3 to 4 yards on first down, you're set up very well for the rest of the drive.
To throw on 2nd and 6, Lawrence. And that is caught. Touchdown, Jacksonville. Evan Ingram with career touchdown number 70. And the Jaguars go up by 2 touchdowns. Extra point by Koo, up and good. And it's now 14-0. Following the touchdown, here's Koo to kick off. The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. They've been outplayed early, no question. Down 14-0 already as they come up 1st and 10. And now the throw here is incomplete. And with that, we come to the end of the first quarter of play. So the incompletion, and now it's 2nd and 10, again from the 25-yard line. There's Wilson to throw. Flush to his right. Oh, he'll want that one back. Incomplete. He doesn't drop too many in that department. 3rd down.
Partner, I think he's got to be careful as he continues to try to extend plays because he's already been intercepted in this game. And the coverage, they continue to challenge all of his receivers downfield.
The offense on 3rd down tonight, 0 for 3 to this point. They could use a conversion. This is 3rd and 10. All right, rifles one, and that's going to be intercepted. And the Jaguars are going to take possession of the football.
And I think this is a situation where quarterback coach in the sideline is going to talk to a signal caller and say, listen, it's 3rd and long, and it's still early in the game. Let's not force things here. If we don't feel good about it, let's just check something down and pump the football.
On 1st and 10, it's ETN. And not much. Maybe a yard down to the 23.
Well, sometimes you just have to give credit to the defense. Great job there at the point of attack, holding up. They won their battles at the line of scrimmage, left him no space to try and run. A really nice job swarming to the ball carrier.
On 2nd and 9, Lawrence firing quickly, but it's incomplete.
You're down 2 touchdowns. You just know defensively you absolutely have to come up with a big play. That nearly was one right there.
Looked over at the sideline immediately after the drop and just saw the dejection. They felt it. They thought he had it. Unfortunately, couldn't come up with it. On 3rd down, Lawrence. And the throw there going to be incomplete.
They certainly had good starting field position on that drive, but couldn't do anything with it after 3 plays. Have to admit that that's a disappointing end to excellent field position. When that drive started, they had 6 points that they were thinking about.
So the interception set him up with terrific field position, but 3 points, the end result.
Yeah, we can make this one pretty simple, partner. You always want to end drives with points, but that's one that you're going to look back on and probably say, we should have done better there.
The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. And they've sort of lost their way, partner. How do they recalibrate and get this proverbial train back on track?
Well, this is where leadership really comes into play. How's the head coach handling it? The offensive coordinator? Sometimes they just make a joke. All right, guys, had your fun? All right.
Throw it out the window.
Yeah, let's get back on track here. And sometimes that'll work just fine.
I guess it's time now to lean on that leadership. On 1st down, this is McCaffrey. And he takes it past the 45 and down at the 46. 5 yards is the tally on 1st down. That brings up 2nd and 5.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown, because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
Another run with McCaffrey on 2nd down. And they'll get this just to the 47. 1-yard gain. In search of 4 yards here to pick up the 1st down. Now it's Wilson. He finds Watson complete. And he's going to have another first down as the tackle's made at the Jaguars' 40. The drive stays intact with a pickup of 13.
Now that's the kind of big play you'd like to see. This first half, it hasn't gone their way, and they could use a shot in the arm, something to perk them up a bit. And they get one here in the passing game.
On first down, Wilson. Rush coming, and he's taken down. They'll wind up losing 8 on the sack there, and it's second down.
Well, Charles, this has been something to watch so far. This is where you really feel for a quarterback. He's been running for his life in this first half.
Brandon, that's 5 sacks already, so you know he's got to be saying, can we get some more guys?
Under pressure, they got him again. Josh Allen able to get in there yet again. That's already 3 sacks for him here in this first half of football.
Well, collectively as a defense, Charles, I think if you get 4 sacks a game, you're feeling really good. Now they have 6 as a unit.
And that type of a number, it's just staggering because there's so many ways to try and counteract it. But in this case, they've got no answers for this unrelenting pressure.
For a gain of 7. And that's going to bring up a 4th down.
4th down, and out comes Jordan Stout here to punt.
He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away.
Here's James returning.
So possession goes over here on the punt. And it'll be Jaguar football as they take over deep in their own territory. Jaguars come to the line to start their next drive. And they split the uprights last time for 3. They've got the lead. They're not going to play this conservative. They're not hoping for another field goal. They're hoping for a touchdown.
I'm with you on that one. I like where your head is. I like the way you're thinking because you're exactly right. Trying to sit on a lead and play that way, that doesn't work too well for most teams. Run your offense. Run what you do best. Exactly. Put it all the way down and try to increase your lead in a big way. The best way to do it, touchdowns.
11 yards there for Jacksonville and a first down as well.
Now Lawrence to throw.
A quick throw, but incomplete.
It certainly didn't appear that that's where he wanted to go with the ball initially, so he tried to get something out of it by dumping it off to his running back unsuccessfully.
So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10.
Looking to throw, Lawrence.
He's got a man complete.
And he has a big gain inside the 40 before being dropped.
39 yards there, a big one. Coming up at halftime, I'll go from one personality, that's you, Charles Davis, to another one in Orlando, the coach. He'll have stats and scores from around the NFL. You and Jonathan Coachman, both larger than life.
No doubt about it.
But you're stuck with me in this booth,
yes,
and he's miles away and smiling.
And happy.
And now a throw on first down there, but it's incomplete.
Right up to that point, I was about to say he's had a pretty good half catching the football, but let's just be honest about it. He should have caught that one.
And he knows that. That was one right in his breadbasket and one he normally catches. Slot man moves right. Throwing again on 2nd and 10. Lawrence. Oh, he's going to let this go for the end zone. And this is going to be intercepted.
Picked off by Ashton Davis. And the Packers are going to get it back here just shy of the 20. So that potentially an important takeaway here in this second quarter.
Because what it does is give their offense a chance to put a drive together. They've got nothing on the scoreboard so far, so you have to think that they need something before the break. And now they have an opportunity.
The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. And we don't want to call this desperation time, especially in the second quarter, but you're down.
Want to.
No, but let me finish.
Okay, my bad.
You're down 3 scores already. You've done nothing offensively, nothing on the scoreboard. That's not a good combination.
I think you just called it desperation time. I think you did. But let's face it, you mentioned this to me in a break earlier in the game. The energy level hasn't been there right from the start. We've noticed that. They've got to find a way to get on their toes and start punching instead of retreating, to use a boxing analogy.
And they'll work this down inside the 30.
Now the Packers going to go ahead and use the second of their timeouts as they'll get a chance to talk it over after picking up the first down. Off the play fake, here's Wilson. And it's knocked away and incomplete. We saw a lot of that a week ago defensively from him. AFC Defensive Player of the Week. Just always seems to be around the football.
I like your observation there. Understands the game, understands positioning, can put himself in the right spot, and then make a play on the football.
On 2nd and 10, Wilson. And he'll spot Higgins open left side. And he's going to have another first down as the tackle's made at the Jaguars' 18. From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. To the goal line, but it's incomplete.
Oh, they were so close. That close to their first points of the game. Just needed to hang on just a second longer. But he couldn't complete the process of the catch through the jostling from the defender.
Throwing again here, Wilson. Got a man over the middle, and it's complete. And the Packers are looking at 1st and goal as he's tackled all the way down at the 2-yard line.
Well, these guys have definitely been outplayed in the first half. I like their countenance. I like the way that they haven't panicked out there, the way they're carrying themselves. They're starting to move the ball, and what you have to do, maintain your poise and start to put together some drives.
They'll try to run with McCaffrey. And he'll take this one in for a Packer touchdown. Christian McCaffrey, his 104th career touchdown, one shy of Tim Brown on the all-time list. And the Packers are on the board here in the final minute of the first half. So with the missed PAT in his rearview mirror, he goes back out to kick this one off. Well, from deep in the end zone, he's going to bring this out. And no chance to get away as they'll get him down at about the 17-yard line. On the ready. The Jacksonville offense set to begin their next drive. And we'll see how this is played. Offensively, they've got the lead. Not a whole lot of time left. What do you think, Charles?
Well, it's tempting to try and add to your lead, but a mistake there, that could change things in a big way. I say go ahead, take the knee, get on out for the half.
Multiple players combined for their team's first sack of the game.
And they need to work to at least get some of this yardage back after the sack. 2nd and 19. He finds his man, complete. That's James. Now a timeout taken. Perhaps a chance for one more quick play and then another timeout if they hurry. We'll see.
That's a good bounce back play right there after taking a sack on first down. Didn't quite get it to the marker, but now they're in a much better spot for a 3rd and short yardage call. If you're the offensive coordinator, you like looking at that section a heck of a lot better than trying to figure out 3rd and long.
Now whistles here. And I believe one of the Jaguar linemen might have moved. Well, that's a tough, costly penalty because now it makes it 3rd and 6 after the false start. Lawrence. He's going to float this one deep right side. This is caught inside the 15. And with just 1 second remaining in the first half, they'll call the timeout. So with 1 second left in the half, on is the field goal unit.
Koo knocks this one through the post.
And that will do it for this first half. So we have come to halftime in what's already a 2-touchdown game. As we send you a couple hours south of here to Orlando, that's where we check in with a coach and our EA Sports Halftime Report. Welcome back. Halftime over. We are ready for quarter number 3 alongside Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin.
The Jaguars in possession of the lead, and they will get the football as we are underway in the second half. Jaguars come to the line to start their next drive. And despite the turnovers, Charles, and they had multiple in that first half, they still have the lead. That's the third interception for Lawrence. Picked off by Kirby Joseph. And the Packers are going to have great field position here as this is returned just shy of midfield. Not the way you envision things to start out the third quarter. One play and already a turnover.
It's interesting. You and I were talking with the coach, and he talked about how at halftime, as a play caller, he wanted to make sure he got it.
And intercepted. Wilson's third of the game. Picked off by Cameron Curl. And the Jags force the turnover. They'll take over at the 10. Keep in mind, he had the 3-interception game last week, so we requested to talk with him this week. He was all smiles. He's still all smile.
Yeah, we didn't jinx him at all, did we?
No.
Because ordinarily that happens. Things fall off, but not in this case. I think a lot of it goes back to his technique. His ability to see the quarterback throw the ball while understanding where the receiver is running his route allows him to make a lot of...
And he will not make it back to the line of scrimmage as he's going to be taken down. Buried by multiple defenders on the drive's first play. I thought there at the end he may have had a chance to release that, but that pocket closed a little too quickly and down he went.
Yeah, he was certainly trying to do everything he could to extend the life of the play, probably counting in his head 1, 2, and then he ran out of time.
The sack cost him only a yard. It's 2nd and 11. From the gun, it's Lawrence. He's got a man, complete. And they'll get this down to the 42-yard line.
We spent a lot of time talking about what's going on the field. How about off the field with the evaluation? And they spent a lot of time saying, we've got... here who has big playability, and that's exactly what we're seeing here early in his career.
Drafted him in the spring. Here he is early in the fall making an impact. This offense really looking polished these first couple of weeks. Here's 1st and 10. From the shotgun, Lawrence throwing the out route incomplete. That's Hoffman. And they're going to get this down to about the 37.
What I love about watching the passing game nowadays is that the one-dimensional receiver is really starting to leave the game. You've got to be able to do it all. Of course, you got to run fast. Of course, you got to catch the ball. But route running savvy and toughness, there's a premium for all of that now.
And he'll be out of bounds as he gets it down to the 30 there. 7 yards there and a 1st down.
But they've certainly done a nice job spreading the ball around on this drive. This time he gets it out to his back, and it's another nice play and another 1st down. They got the defense on their heels a little bit. They're reacting instead of being aggressive and making plays.
Lawrence's throw here taken in by Ingram. And he's out of bounds. Almost gets to the 10. 19 yards there on the catch and run.
When you get a big tight end like this, sometimes it takes more than one man to bring him down. Oftentimes your best bet, just jump on and hold on and wait for your teammates to arrive to help get him on the ground.
And this time they were waiting for him as he'll be knocked down before he can get back to the line of scrimmage. Officially no gain on the play, and it's 2nd down. Here's Lawrence. Touchdown! Evan Ingram, a beast in the red zone with his 2nd touchdown of the game. And the Jaguars go coast to coast and finish the drive off with 6 points. Crew able to connect on the extra point. And the lead now to 4 touchdowns.
gains of 21.
Following the touchdown, here's Koo to kick off.
The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway.
I kind of feel like they've reached a do-or-die point in this game, Charles. If they're going to try to pull off an impressive comeback, it has to start right here, right now.
Yeah, now they've got a final chance to get out of this situation, but they also understand they've got to move the ball and move it fast. In addition, they need to save as much time so they can get 2 more possessions.
Here's 2nd and 7 now from the 28. McCaffrey running up the middle. A pickup of about 3 yards as he's taken down at the 31.
Another modest gain there on that one. And I think, Charles, you can probably pin part of the deficit on a failure on their part to really get this ground game established.
Yeah, and they've really struggled to be multidimensional in this one, having a partner, because they have to be extremely one-dimensional now if they hope to get back into this game. They have to do it by throwing the football and hope to have success through the air.
Here we go with McCaffrey. And he will have a first down as they get him to the ground at the 37.
I'd say they've got to find a way to get him going. He's such a big part of their offense. I wonder if they might throw it a little and come back to the run.
Anything, because you're right. He's pretty much been completely neutralized.
Work to do here to avoid falling to 1-1, but this is 1st and 10 right now.
Now they'll throw it with Wilson.
This is caught. It's Christian Watson.
And out of bounds on the other side of midfield at the 45. Give them 18 on that play, and Green Bay has the first as well. So in Jacksonville territory now. Here's a 1st and 10 at the 45-yard line. Up the gut, McCaffrey. And he'll take this ahead for about 4. 2nd down coming up.
That ground game contained again there, Charles, and that's really a big reason that they're trailing right now.
They give a lot of credit to that defensive front. That's exactly what they worked for all week, to try and take away the run game, make them one-dimensional. In the battle of game plans, theirs has been superior.
2nd down and right back to McCaffrey.
And he is close to a first down as he's tackled at the Jaguars' 36.
Well, they're hoping that the second half is better for him than the first half. They've got to find a way to get him going. He's a big part of their offense.
This will be play number 8 here on the drive. It's 3rd and a yard. They'll try and pick it up with McCaffrey. And he's going to get to the 31, enough for the first down. They get 5 out of that one, and it moves the chains.
Not too many offenses want to turn down long drives, but when you're down what they are, they've got to pay it off with some points.
Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. They stay on the ground. McCaffrey again.
And he's got it down to the 28.
They know that old expression, it's not my night. It hasn't been his so far. I don't know if the legs are a little bit heavy. Sometimes having to hang out all day and play doesn't exactly play to your advantage, but it's been a tough go for him.
And every time he looks up, somebody's there defensively. That was the same case on that play.
And this is incomplete. Oh, that looked like a sure 6 points, but he could not get that to stick, and that is a golden opportunity wasted there.
Another attempt, another incompletion, and when I look at the scoreboard and where we are in this game, it comes to mind that they have to start getting the ball in the hands of their playmakers. Throw it to the guys that maybe can take a short pass and turn it into a long gain or make people miss downfield. They've got to have points, and the guys who can bring it in the end zone, they're the ones that need to touch the ball.
We saw this a lot in the first half, and it continues. These receivers just not able to get much separation.
So that means they have to win the 50-50 balls. They've got to go up with the defender and find a way to start coming down with them.
And this time, contact and another incomplete pass. Fourth down. Here's Here's Wilson. And he comes back with one complete. And they'll have it in the red zone before he crosses over out of bounds. The conversion is successful with a sizable gain of 13, and the decision to go for it looks like a smart one. They'll give it up to McCaffrey. And effective running here. He'll take it down inside the 10. A good run, got 7 on first. Here's 2nd and 3. This is McCaffrey on the give. And he will get this into the end zone. Touchdown, Green Bay.
Christian McCaffrey.
His 2nd touchdown of the game, his 3rd on the year.
And the Packers are able to get a score back in the final stages of this 3rd quarter.
This time, the extra point up and good. And the lead will be cut down to 14.
And Patterson back out there to send this one away. He will return this from deep in the end zone. And he's probably realizing he should have stayed in the end zone as he can only muster a return to the 14-yard line. The Jacksonville offense set to begin their next drive. Their lead down to 2 scores after the touchdown a moment ago as they start with a 1st and 10. And they'll be stopped at the 28 on a play that started at the 14. They pick up 14. And they'll throw on 1st down with Lawrence.
Eluding the pressure right.
And this one incomplete. Threw it down at the feet of his receiver.
The defender certainly didn't forget about him leaking out of the backfield. There was a guy ready and waiting to pick him up in coverage. And that throw had no shot.
An incomplete pass on 1st down. That leads to a 2nd and 10.
Now Lawrence. And now he'll fire deep downfield for James.
And got his man complete. Touchdown, Jaguars. A great effort there. He scored on a punt return, and now he's scored through the air.
And the Jaguars are looking to make it 2 straight as they add on to this 4th quarter lead.
Extra point by Koo, up and good. And the lead now to 3 touchdowns at 21.
Following the touchdown, here's Koo to kick off.
And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway.
Where we stand right now in the 4th quarter, this one pretty much out of reach. And, Charles, I know they're going to be disappointed about several things in this ball game. The self-inflicted wounds, they've had several turnovers. You have to think that's going to be something they're going to discuss heavily in the film session in the coming days.
You're absolutely right about that, partner, because they're going to have to sit in that film room and watch every error that they made and figure out how to not do it in the future. And mentally, I think a lot of the guys are already starting to think about, okay, how do we put this behind us and get better for the next time out? This, they'll use as motivation for the rest of the time that they play to hopefully never be in this type of situation again.
He's got his man on the crossing route. It'll be a pickup of 16, but they remain short of the marker, and it's 4th down. Got to try it here. He's back to throw. And he's brought down. Can't do anything with a football. It's a sack and a turnover on downs.
So from inside the 20, here's 1st and 10 at the 18. Now Lawrence.
Got his man. It's caught. Touchdown, Jaguars. A great play there. His 5th touchdown now on the year.
And the Jaguars are on their way to a 2-0 start.
Koo able to connect on the extra point. And that'll increase their lead to 28.
touchdown. Here's Koo to kick off. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway.
Charles, we know that this offense is aggressive. We saw that last drive. They went for it on fourth down, didn't get it. Then they give up the touchdown. So now you feel like they really need to respond here.
They certainly do, but let's face it. Sometimes when you take that risk, you understand if you fail, a little more onus goes back on your ball club to try and pick themselves back up.
An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. To throw is Wilson. He finds his man, complete. That's McKinney. And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. It's a gain of 12, and the Packers have the first. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. Shotgun handoff now to McCaffrey. And good running there as he'll take this all the way up to midfield. 64 yards rushing for him now with a couple of touchdown runs to boot. Back to the ground on 1st. It's McCaffrey. He'll get this down to the 48-yard line. The last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7. Wilson. Throw left side complete. That's McKinney. And they're going to get this to about the 44-yard line. You got the big lead defensively. Willing to give them that underneath stuff, right?
And this is why you work on your tackling. Tackle them after the catch, inbounds, keep the clock running. Just go ahead and bleed the game out that way.
From the shotgun, Wilson. And that will be incomplete.
And that's another play that's been in the picture of this game. It's been a blowout. It's been continually fueled by big turnovers and stops for one side and an inability to advance the ball from the other.
Here we go. It's Wilson on 4th down. And it's going to be batted down. It will go the other way with the football. The Packers unable to pick up the first. And the Jaguars are going to take possession here on the turnover on downs. Jaguars come to the line to start their next drive. Been a very strong performance for them, really, on both sides of the football. The turnover on downs, the most recent example. And now, obviously, they're in a great spot here.
Yeah, if you're over on the bench right now, you're shaking hands with your teammate, you're hugging him, giving him a little dap. Been a big, big performance for them. Now you just don't get careless. Take care of the ball on the way out.
They find some open field here.
And this defense not ready for that one as he'll take this down inside the 25.
That good for 19 and a first down.
A shotgun snap and again the ETN.
And he's going to take this ahead for right around 3 yards, but no more than that. 2nd down.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where it'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
And all the way down inside the 5 to the 4. 18 yards there, and it'll be a 1st and goal. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the 4th quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. They come out with 1 back and 3 tight ends. They'll run with Chubb. And he's maybe going to get this back to the 4, but that's about all. No gain on the play that time, and it sets up 2nd and goal. And again, it's Chubb. And he will get into the end zone. It's another touchdown. This thing is ugly. Looking like they're well on their way to a 2-0 start. All smiles right now on that sideline, isn't it?
As well there should be. It's hard to win a game in the NFL. We hear it all the time. We know that it's difficult. But guess who's smiling But inside is thinking 24-hour rule because we're going to have to play again next week.
Boss man.
Oh, without a doubt. The head coach, he wants them to feel good, but at the same time, find a way to keep improving.
And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. Well, CD, it's all window dressing at this point. I mean, the best they can do is in the game with a nice drive to maybe build some momentum to move forward into their next contest.
Yeah, with how lopsided this game has been, even one score might not do a lot of cosmetic good on the scoreboard, partner, because it's just about looking forward at this point. Get a touchdown.
And for the fourth time tonight, it's an interception. And the Jaguars are going to take possession of the football. Well, they've got the huge lead. Now they have another interception on the defensive side. Seems like everything they touch in this one, Charles, turns to gold.
And they have to be awfully happy right there to get what appears to be one more for the road and help seal away one of their best efforts of the season.
Chubb will get the call running left. And he'll be marked down at the 26 with a gain of 7.
I know that every now and then we get in those meetings with coaches, and you almost want to roll your eyes when they talk about staying on schedule when they're moving the football. But would you say a 7-yard run is ahead of schedule?
Fourth quarter with a lead, you love that, don't you?
No doubt about it, because staying on schedule is trying to get 4 downs on first down. They did that +3.
The partner under the lights in prime time, this offense, they gave the nation quite a show, putting up that many points to come away with what will certainly be a memorable win for them.